Search engine optimization. Essentially, search engine optimization is the practice of getting your site prepared for the search engines. Let me move here to my definition. The process of improving your website to make it more search engine and visitor friendly. What this means is, if you go out there and create a website and throw it up there and hope that traffic's going to come, well, you're going to be a little bit disappointed because it takes more than just getting your website out there. You have to make sure that it is optimized for the search engines, because the search engines have an incredible task in front of them. As you know, the internet has so much information, and whenever you sit down and do a search for something, if I do a search for, of course, dog training, Google is going to return what they believe to be the most relevant results. So what this means then, of course, is that the site at the top is going to be the best site in Google's opinion on dog training. So if you create a website then on roller skates, or let's say how to roller skate, well, you're going to have the task of convincing Google why your site is the best. And in order to do that, you need to practice search engine optimization. Now, there are some things that we'll cover in some later videos in this toolkit, as far as how to apply search engine optimization to your page. But it's a variety of factors. It's writing your page in a certain way. It's taking the time to research the types of keywords that you want to rank for, and then kind of working backwards. It also means getting lots and lots of links to your site. In fact, many people argue that is 80% of the battle is getting a lot of links. So, and I've found that to be the case too. So that's what it really comes down to, and that's what search engine optimization is. Marketing information products. Essentially, what this means is going out. There's a couple steps. Let me go through them. First, you research the market and get a good feel for things. Then you create a product for that market, and then promote your product to a target audience. So what this would mean, of course, is that you go out and, let's say, for example, you want to get involved in dog training. You would first go to the dog forums and find out the common problems that people have with their dogs. What types of things would people be interested in paying for a solution? Then you go out, unless you're an expert dog trainer yourself, which you may be. If you're not, that's okay. You go out and you pay someone to create a book for you on how to train the dog that's going to answer it, of course, to the target audience. Then you take that product and then promote it to the audience. So what happens then is, rather than selling other people's products, you have your own. And the thing is that it really is not that hard to create your own product. In the past, creating your own magazine, your own book, or whatever, there were immense costs associated with it. Whereas with the internet, thank goodness for the internet, you can sit down and with free software, you can create your own book and publish it to a PDF, and start selling it over a weekend, which is just insane. So again, you want to follow these steps, and you're going to see a lot of people talking about the power of making your own products, because of course you get 100% of the profits, and there's good reasons for that too. Now, I do want to say that again, this is more of an advanced thing. I would not suggest starting out doing this, because you might spend a lot of money for something that doesn't sell, and I would hate to be in that situation. So what people do is they start in a market selling other people's products, and when they see that the excitement is there, they go out and create their own products. So instead of getting commission, they're getting all of it. So that's essentially what the worth is of marketing information products, and of course creating them for yourself. Tool number 5, developing a marketing mindset. Before I cut you loose, I wanted to just spend a little bit of time about talking about getting in the right mindset. You picked up this video series because you're new to marketing, and I just think that it's very helpful for someone new to know a couple things about this industry, because this industry is quite a bit different than other things. I'm sure that many of you have jobs and you're used to working 9 to 5, sitting down at a desk or whatever, and internet marketing is a bit different, because you don't have a boss standing over you. You're not working with a team a lot of times. You're working on your own, and sometimes you can work on a project and not see the benefits of it for a while. So it's quite a bit different than going to work and doing whatever and getting a paycheck. It's very different. It can be very rewarding also, but unfortunately sometimes things don't go like you hope they would. So my hope is that I can share some of my wisdom with you, I guess if you can call it that. I have been doing this for a long time, so I can share with you some missteps that I took in the hope that you won't take them, and just kind of give you some helpful advice as you move forward on that internet marketing ladder. I'll see you in the next video. The newbie pitfalls. Okay, starting out, there are some crucial mistakes that people can make that can bring about an end to your internet marketing career. And I don't mean to scare you, I just want to tell you how it is because I want you to succeed. So, knowing that, let's talk about some common things that people fall into. Okay, being afraid. This is a big one. Maybe you've worked in a job all your life and you've always taken orders from somebody. Well, now the tables have turned and you are 100% responsible for your success doing this, and people are afraid to do it. They don't believe it themselves. They think that maybe they don't have what it takes, and you couldn't be more wrong. You totally have what it takes. It's internet marketing is honestly, it isn't some huge, hard, tremendous thing. It just takes time and patience and dedication. And you get out there and you start doing something, and just because it doesn't make you rich overnight does not mean that you should stop. So you need to believe in yourself, and you need to get off your chair and just go for it. Another problem is people can jump from one thing to the next. If you get any type of internet marketing emails in your inbox, you probably noticed that a lot of them have a great deal of hype in them. They're always talking about the new greatest thing and how to make tons of money. And I'm not saying that that's not the case, but I will say that it is very common for people to purchase a product with the best intentions of seeing it through and becoming successful, and they take a couple steps and then something else comes out, and instead of seeing through what they started, they go on to the next thing, which sounds like an even better way to make money. And the thing is, you're going to end up starting a lot of projects and never finishing any, which means that you are throwing money away. So just be really careful. Now in the beginning, it is certainly okay to spend some time looking around and trying to figure out, early in the series we talked about the many different avenues that you can go when getting involved in internet marketing, and that's certainly okay. But once you get a feel for what you want to try, pick one and really stick with it. Stick with it at least until you're making some money, and then you can decide if you want to stick with it some more. Analysis paralysis, or however you even write that. The gist of this is that sometimes people really want to make things perfect, and internet marketing is not about being perfect. It is about getting something out there and looking at it and saying, how can I make it better? Some people, they just take way too much time planning things out and never take enough, don't spend enough time taking action. You just need to get out there and do it. And I'm not saying that you should jump into anything because, of course, you want to take the time to learn things and make smart decisions. But just be careful that you don't spend too much time thinking about things, and make sure that you dedicate time to actually do things. Running out of money early. You need to stick to a budget. Pay per click. I've seen many people sit down with hundreds of dollars, and before they know it, they're out of money, and they weren't tight enough with their budget from the beginning. You need to, every penny counts, and before you purchase a product or before you purchase ad space, make sure that it's going to be a good investment for your business, because if you lose too much money, you're going to be out of the game, and that's not good. So look at the methods that don't cost much, so you can at least get some money coming in before you start spending a lot of money on other avenues. Working alone is a tough one because nobody in my family does internet marketing, so I can't sit down at the dinner table and talk about this kind of stuff. My wife knows more than she'd like to, probably, and that's nice to the extent. But again, it's not the same as working in a job where you have a coworker that's in a similar situation. It doesn't need to be this way, because there are lots of forums out there, and we're going to talk about that in a minute, where you can meet people doing the same stuff. And the internet is a big place, and even though, I wouldn't suggest going on a forum and sharing all of your secrets, there's no reason you can't get out there and make some contacts and network, make some friends. I'm glad to say that I've made quite a few friends that I chat with from time to time, and you know what, we share tricks and tips with each other because I know that it's gonna help him and he's gonna help me, and he's not gonna go blab it to the world. We work together. So the point is that also, I don't feel as alone when I'm doing this. I've come up with some ideas that I thought were great, but I ran them through a couple of my colleagues, and they were like, you know what, that's a pretty dumb idea, and it saved me some time. So again, working alone, it's tough, and it doesn't need to be that way. So I hope that you take these things to heart. And in the next video, we're going to talk about the importance of setting goals for yourself. CPA marketing. This is something that you do hear quite a bit of talk about, especially recently because it has gotten very popular. CPA marketing is basically when you get paid per action. We talked before about selling products through ClickBank or even Avon, and of course you only get paid when you make a sale. Well, CPA marketing is a little bit different. It's getting paid a commission on a cost per action basis. What this means is it's not necessarily a sale that you get paid for, it's a determined action. So let's take, for example, let me see if I can find a live example here for you. If I am looking to go to night school, okay? I'm looking to go to night school online. Well, you're going to see that some ads come up because these people are trying to make money from your decision. And essentially what happens is, here, this one here, Education Connection. I'm going to type that in because I don't want those poor people to have to pay for me. And I'd suggest that you do the same. Okay, what happens then is I come here, and all I need to do is say, yes, I am interested in a certain school. So that means I don't have to get my credit card out, I don't have to buy an education. All I have to do is come to this site and then fill out a form saying that I would like someone to contact me about going to night school. And then voila, someone's going to get paid a commission on my lead. So think about that for a second. We talked earlier about trying to sell a dog training series, and if somebody buys it for $47, maybe you get half or 2/3 or 3/4 or whatever. That's going to happen sometimes. But think about how much easier it's going to be to get someone just to agree to sign up for information. That's the excitement of CPA marketing, because all of a sudden it is a heck of a lot easier to get a sale. Now let's look at another example. I don't even know how to pronounce this right. Is it Asiberry? Is that how you say it? Is a very popular weight loss method, I guess I should say. It's an ingredient, and of course we have a lot of ads being ran for it. So let's go ahead and visit one of them. Let's look at here, weight loss reporting. Okay. What this person is doing here is they are trying to get somebody to sign up for a free trial of this weight loss program. So you can see here that all you have to do is pay for shipping. So again, what happens here is, rather than having to sell, if you were just selling the product outright, it could cost $60. But now this person, all they have to do is pay the $4 for shipping, and then bam, the person gets a conversion. Why in the world is a CPA marketing firm willing to pay you $40 for this lead or $30? Because they know that once they get the lead, you're going to have the chance to sell to them multiple times. So that's really the amazement, the excitement. There are a lot of places that you can sign up for CPA, places like Copiac. Hydra is probably the most popular one, but there are literally hundreds of different places that you can sign up to be a CPA marketer. Now, I will have to say this, that CPA marketing is more of a next step type of thing. People often start with something like ClickBank, and some of the CPA places it's a little bit more difficult to get into. But still, CPA marketing really works out well, and I would suggest that maybe you start with something like ClickBank. Once you get a few sales under your belt, then you look into CPA marketing, because it really is, there's a lot of possibilities there, and it's a lot of excitement. The importance of setting goals. This is really, really important. The thing about internet marketing is that you don't have concrete goals set for you, like your boss may do for you. So it's going to be real important that you do things for yourself. I got to tell you, one of the biggest problems that I have personally as an internet marketer is that sometimes I just get in a mood where I spin my wheels. I'll just be going from one thing to the next. And what I've found is that when I do not have a clear action plan, I do not make the best use of my time. So what I try to do is start the week off by making a to-do list, and I write everything down, and then of course as I do it I'm able to move forward. It keeps me focused because I'm also able to look and feel good about the things that I got done as well. So when you set goals, you want to make sure that they are realistic. If you create too high of a expectation, then you're not going to meet them, and then you're going to be it's not going to be good. You're going to be disappointed with yourself, and you don't want to set yourself up to fail. So make sure that they're realistic. It's certainly okay to set a goal for how much money you want to make. Now, it's hard to, especially in the beginning, to be realistic because you haven't done this before. You don't know. But once you start to make money, think to yourself, what do I need to get from this point to this point, and then set a goal for when you want to be there, and think about realistically what is it going to take to get to that point. So you kind of work backwards in a sense. So the most important thing is that you hold yourself accountable and come up with some sort of plan of action and stick to it. Networking online. This is really important. We talked in the last video about 2 videos ago, sorry, we talked about the importance of not working alone and making contacts online. There are a lot of great places that you can go to meet people. The Warrior Forum is a really great place. I think that you'll find that people on here are serious about learning about internet marketing, and there are some experts on there as well that share a lot of good stuff. Digital Point is another place. There are a lot of people here. I don't frequent this one too much, but it is surrounded a lot more by people just starting out, which certainly can be a good thing. SitePoint is another place where you'll find a lot of people. V7N is another one as well. And you can find the links to all these places in the accompanying book that came with the video series. One bit of caution, you'll find a lot of people promoting internet marketing products on these sites, and just be careful because there certainly are things out there that will make you money and work for you, but there are things that people out there that are less than honest too. So just be careful because unfortunately there are some people that have less than good intentions on places. So look for things like reviews. Somebody selling something, are other people saying that it's good, or they never heard of it? Is this person credible? Things like that. But just go on there and start sharing. Don't be afraid to ask questions, and as you move forward, answer other people's questions. And then if you see people doing things similar to you, you can private message them and start to chat with them. I've made my friends by talking to them through instant messenger after I've conversed with them a bit on the forums. So, and that's why I find the relationship really builds when you start talking to people like that. So that's how that works. And I think that you'll find that if you reach out, a lot of other people are very receptive, and they're looking for the same thing as you too. So there's nothing wrong with a few people working together to head towards success. Why you should do affiliate marketing. There are actually a lot of good reasons to do affiliate marketing. There are many advantages, including it doesn't cost anything. Like I mentioned before, of course there are things that you can do that will cost money, and then you might see results come quicker. But I want to really emphasize that you can literally get started in this today and not spend a dime. You're limited only by your imagination. There are so many unique ways to promote things online, and if you were, for example, to sell Avon products, you're going to find that there are some limitations that you need to follow in how you sell. Whereas with a lot of things online, they kind of leave it up to you. Of course, you can't do anything illegal or shady or unethical, but again, you can do all these very exciting things. If you wanted to sell the dog product, you could go to a dog forum and just start creating an account and talking about the product, and you'd be surprised how well just that works, as simple as it sounds. Countless everyday people are successful with that. I want to really point that out to you, that you find stories all the time of people that do not have a formal marketing education jumping online and doing well. Now, it isn't as easy as it sounds. It does take hard work, dedication, and you have to keep at it. You're not going to get rich the first time you sit down. Believe me, I wish that was the case, but it isn't. But I really want to stress to you that just because you don't have any formal training in the past, you can get this going because it's there. There are tons of forums dedicated to helping other people, and you don't need to, sink a mint into getting this education. You can just get out there and start trying things and learn as you go about doing things. You don't have to stock physical products. Again, if I was going to open up a retail store, my I start to sweat thinking about all the money that it would cost to stock the store, the loans and everything. Whereas with this, you can sit down and you can join an affiliate program such as Commission Junction or ClickBank and have literally thousands of products right at your fingertips that you're approved to sell. You also don't have to ship any products too, because again, you just got to get the sale. That means that if something goes wrong with the sale, it's not your problem. That's the person that providing the product. They have to take care of those types of things. So again, you don't have any customer relations. You just have to get the lead and get it to convert, and then you're set. You can sell anything you can think of, really. I mentioned ClickBank, but there are so many things out there. You could go to Google and type in, whatever it is you're interested in, and then affiliate. Let me go ahead and show you an example. Let's say that I'm into roller skates. Okay? Just going to type roller skates and then affiliate. Let's see what comes up. Okay, well here you go. Here is Roller Skates Unlimited Affiliate Program. Okay, now this is the best example because they're only willing to pay you 5% of the total sale, but still you get the idea. There are literally, tons and tons of things that you can sell, and if there's a market for it, and it's something that you're interested in possibly, I can tell you what, there's going to be an affiliate program out there for it. All you have to do is look. There are many, many, many tools and resources available for help. I really want to stress this as it is very important. That you're not reinventing the wheel here. There is a huge community online of people that are just out there. They're trying to learn as well, and they're helpful in sharing advice. Places like the Warrior Forum, Digital Point. These are places where you find a lot of people just starting out. Easy to scale once you're successful. This is also an important thing to note. You find something that works, and then you can roll it out on a bigger level. So if you find something that's going to make you a couple dollars a day, then you need to figure out what to do to take it to the next level. Again, you're not going to start out in affiliate marketing and be making thousands of dollars on your first day. But the thing is, you get a sale, and then you find out what happened, and then of course, you repeat that. Rinse and repeat. As you're doing marketing, it is super, super important to make sure that you're tracking what you're doing, so you can, really figure out what's making you money and what's losing you money. And then, of course, when you find something that works, what can you do to expand it? You should never be satisfied with something that's making you money. You should always try to push it to make more. One thing is, how can I scale this? If I write one article that makes me these sales, what can I do to expand upon this? Can I write other articles on the same topic, or can I develop a site on this topic, or can I start pay-per-click on this topic? There's always ways to make more money, and of course, if you have a site that's doing well with sales, what can I do? Can I change the ad copy to make more sales? Can I build a list to market to people over time? Just the thing is that you want to also make sure that you are trimming things away that aren't working for you as well. Sometimes I find it hard to abandon a project that hasn't made me money, but I need to look at things realistically, and if I've worked really hard and it just doesn't seem like it's going to work out, then it's pointless for me to spend more time or money trying to turn it around when it's something that can't be turned around. So you want to be as objective as you can while still giving it the old college try. So that's basically the thing of marketing. It's an ongoing process. It's something that you always want to dedicate towards making yourself do better. Okay, well that's about it. I hope that you've enjoyed this video series, and I hope that you'll get out there and you'll start diving in, because I gotta tell you, the big difference in succeeding in internet marketing is not how much you know when you start out. Everyone has to start out somewhere. It's that people they take an interest, but then they don't see it through, and then of course you're not going to make money. The thing is, you got to get out there and you got to try. And if you try something and it doesn't work, you got to pick yourself up, figure out what went wrong, and try again. That is the difference between making a go of it and making a no-show of it. So I highly encourage you to take action. Take some time and dive more into the topics that I introduced you to today, and take those basic skills and move forward. So start that climb towards success, and I'll see you at the top. Tool number 1. Popular internet marketing methods. Essentially, the next videos are going to take a look at individual methods that are performed online through internet marketing. We're going to be talking about things like article marketing, pay-per-click, social networking, and these are buzzwords perhaps that you've heard but didn't really understand exactly what they were, or you're interested in learning more about them. We're going to take it, we're going to break it down, and each video will explain exactly what it is. Again, you'd be surprised how many people don't know some of these things, and that's okay. That's what this video series is all about. So again, if there's something that you already know, that's okay. Feel free to go ahead and skip forward to something that you don't know. I'll see you in the next video. The first method we're going to look at is the very popular pay-per-click. Often you see this abbreviated as PPC. Essentially, pay-per-click is defined by Wikipedia as internet advertising model used on websites in which advertisers pay their host only when their ad is clicked. Now, I went on and on talking about how you can get involved in internet marketing for free, and this is actually a paid method, so maybe I shouldn't have started off with it. But nonetheless, it's very popular, so here it is. Let's say that I go to Google to find out more about dog training. So I'm just going to go ahead and type in dog training. Okay, now a wealth of information comes up here. We see some natural search results here, and also some ads along the side. These ads are the pay-per-click that I mentioned. Essentially what happens is you can go out there today and sign up for something called an AdWords account. And what happens is then you create an ad and it is displayed. You choose whatever word you want it to be displayed for. And then what happens is every time this ad is displayed, it doesn't cost anything. What costs something is whenever somebody chooses to click on the link. So that means that if your ad is displayed 100 times and somebody only clicks on it 3 of those times, you're only going to pay 3 times. Now the cost that you pay can vary anywhere from a penny or 5 cents all the way up to several dollars. Things like mortgage rates, low mortgage rate, let's say here. These ads are top dollar here. And then of course we have things that are going to be much, much lower. So it really depends. But essentially what happens here is this is very exciting because it means that you can literally get your information in front of the world right away. We talk about other things like building a website and doing search engine optimization. These types of things are going to take time to see effect, whereas with pay-per-click you can get immediate results. The downside is that new people every day get involved in pay-per-click and spend a lot of money and don't make any money because pay-per-click is competitive and it can be rough. It's something that you do see people struggling with. So I want to encourage you to not start out with pay-per-click if you haven't done any of this before. Don't get me wrong, pay-per-click can be incredibly successful because once you have something that works, you can scale it and people make crazy, crazy money with it. However, it's complex and it takes experience and you really have to be good at selling things and to do this. Whereas with some of the other methods we're going to talk about, they're free, and if you're not the best at it at first, it's not going to be a big deal. But with this, if you're not the best, you're going to get eaten alive. So just a fair warning. But again, I want you to understand what exactly pay-per-click is. Now, of course, there are other methods of pay-per-click. We can go over to Bing, Microsoft search engine, and do a search for dog training, and you'll see that there are ads as well. Now, I'll tell you what. Everybody knows Google. Google is the most popular. It is the most expensive. Microsoft's pay-per-click program, you're going to find that the ads are cheaper. Of course, the traffic's going to be less too, but there's still a lot of traffic. Even places like Facebook have their own pay-per-click ads too. So it's a big universe, and it is certainly something that you may want to consider, and that's what pay-per-click is. Article marketing. Article marketing is essentially creating and distributing articles to numerous places on the net where they will in turn be distributed to a wide range of webmasters and publishers. Okay, that's a pretty big sentence there. Let's go ahead and look at an example. E-zine articles is the most popular article directory. What happens is people go out and for free, this is a free method, create an account with Easy Articles, and then they just start writing articles about whatever they want to promote. So let's say, for example, let's just pick something from the front page here. A guide to avoiding car insurance tricks. Someone sat down and wrote an article that contains helpful information. So the goal here is that somebody is looking for car insurance, and maybe they're concerned, our company's going to be shady. How do I know I'm getting the best deal? So here we go. Here's the article. So because Easy Articles is a popular site, it gets a lot of traffic. So what means is you create an article and you can be assured it's going to get read by people. So here's the trick. People write the article. They're not just writing for fun. Hopefully they're not just writing for fun. At the end of the article, they have a chance to promote their own website or their own product. So essentially what happens then is, somebody comes here and reads the article and they say, hey, wow, you know what? This is a well-written article. I'd like to learn more, or I've decided that I want to buy this product, and there you go. So let's say, for example, that somebody comes to Easy Articles looking to read a review on a product, such as doubling stocks is a popular stock program. Okay, doubling stocks review exposed. What the others won't tell you. Wow, you know what? If I'm looking to buy this product, that's going to really catch me, and I'm going to want to read this article. So then, of course, the article is going to convince you why you need to buy the product, and then they will have their link, to learn more. Or sometimes they might tell you why the product won't work, and then of course mention theirs. So there's another advantage to article marketing. These articles here, once you publish the article, you are giving others permission to copy your article and post it on their own website. But here's the trick. They have to keep your link with the article. So what this means is if you write a good article, you will find that it is then published on multiple sites across the internet, resulting in more traffic. So people do article marketing to get backlinks to their websites because, of course, you're going to have these links in there, but they also do it for traffic. What you also find is if you go to Google, because the article directories are so popular, when I do a search for a doubling stocks review, you will see that the very first result is an Easy article. So what this means is if you do proper keyword research, which is, that takes some time to understand, but essentially if you target the right keywords, you can get them to rank in the search engines, which can really bring about a lot of traffic. And again, this doesn't cost anything to do. So it's certainly an avenue worth pursuing. So that's what article marketing is. Welcome to the Ultimate Internet Marketing Toolkit. In this video series, we're going to go ahead and take a closer look at the beginning steps of becoming an internet marketer. A lot of times you might purchase a product on how to make money online, or dive into the forums, and a lot of times I find that people just starting out are often lost because a lot of the core beginning concepts are not taught in those types of courses. So that's why I wanted to create this course, to really start at the beginning. This video series is going to take you by the hand and show you how to do things like choose a domain name and get it registered, and set up your hosting account and create an email account. We're also going to take a closer look at the different ways to make money online. Not in super detail, but just overall to give you an idea. Things like article marketing and pay-per-click and search engine optimization. Just things, buzzwords that you hear all the time, but if you're lost and you don't know, what they mean, that's what this is for. Now, you're bound to come across things you already know. That's okay. The video series is set up that you can skip things, or maybe you want to view it a second time to make sure you understand what you need to know about that topic. So again, this is a great starting point for people and also a good reference point as well. So let's go ahead then and get started by taking a look at the first tool in the toolkit. I'll see you in the next video. Social networking. Social networking is all the buzz. Essentially, a social network site is any site where people go to network. This includes places like Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, LinkedIn, Dig, and about a zillion others. Social networking is very, very popular. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Dog trainer Twitter. Because I want to show you an example of a dog trainer that's on Twitter. Okay, here. This person is a dog trainer, and what they did was they set up a Twitter account, and they now have over 1,000 people following them. That means that they have 1,000 people that have said, yes, I am interested in this person and I want to hear what they have to say. And then what happens is, on a regular basis, this person sends out something called tweets, and everybody that signed up, gets that. So this person is putting themselves in front of all their followers, several times a day, which is a fantastic way to not only share information, but of course to market yourself. So if you're a dog trainer, you go out and you create a Facebook account. Rather than connecting with your friends, you're going to be connecting with people that you think you can help. And then you can use the social network to expand and grow, because the key is being good at what you do, because if you are and you're a valuable resource, then other people are going to come running to you, and you're going to find you have to work half as hard to build your list. Somebody has a dog and they love your stuff, so then they tell their friends who also have dogs, and before you know it, you have a viral campaign that's really got a life of its own, and you don't have to do too much work to promote yourself anymore. So then you're able to use the advantage of the social network to put yourself in front of them. That's essentially what social networking is. It's it takes some time to get the hang of it, but again, doesn't cost anything. Twitter and Facebook are really, really powerful right now. Those are both places that you can certainly go to build a list. And if you are not sure what you're doing, of course there are resources out there, but there are also you can go out like I did. I found this person on Twitter in like 2 seconds, and then I could just join this person's list and then see what they're doing and study that and learn from that and think about how I can do something similar without copying something similar, and how can it even be better. And that's really one of the magic things about marketing and being successful. Tool number 2, finding and registering a domain name. Over the next few videos, we're going to talk about why you need a domain name and how to go about and register, because obviously if you're looking to get into affiliate marketing and you are serious about things, you really should get your own domain name. We'll talk about the one that you should pick, and of course how to register and all that stuff. It's not really that hard, and it is something that I would encourage you to do. It only costs $9 or $10 to get a .com domain name, which of course is the best, and then it's something that you own for a year. So it doesn't cost a lot of money to do. It's not something that you have to do, but I do recommend it. So I'll see you in the next videos where we talk about what you need to know about getting your own domain name. Brainstorming domain names. Okay, so you've started to dabble a bit in affiliate marketing and you have an idea of the type of product that you'd like to sell. You need to come up with your own domain name so you can have either a website or maybe even just a small page about what you're promoting. So how do you go about doing that? Well, I would suggest that you brainstorm, that you think about possible domain names. I want to go ahead and show you GoDaddy is the most popular domain registrar, and it is who we're going to be using for example here. So let's say that I sit down and I come up with some domain names. I would encourage you to just write them down, and then you can come here and see if they're available. So let's say that I decide that I want it to be dog training. Okay, well, first of all, that is way too general, and unfortunately probably taken about 2 seconds after the internet went online. So it's not available. However, it's actually so general they didn't even give me they did give me some things that are available. Dog travel training, my pet training online. That's actually not too bad. So you can see how GoDaddy helps you. They say, sorry, this is taken, but here are some additional suggestions. Dog company training, pet memory training. Let's try it again. Let's say dog training help. Let's see what comes up. Okay, so the .com of course is already taken, but again they give you some additional ideas here. Dog training support online. Okay, but that's not too bad. My pet training assist. So again, you kind of get the ball rolling, and then GoDaddy is going to help you along the way. Now, as you start to come up with different ideas, I want to ask you to compare them against some tips that I'm going to share with you right now. You want to make sure that your domain name is relatively short and easy to remember. Keep in mind, if somebody hears your domain name, let's say that they heard it on the radio, are they going to be able to remember it to type it in, or if their friend tells them about it? That's a good thing to gauge it against. So, you want it to be short and easy to remember, not too complicated. Now, Of course, dogtraining.com would have been ideal, but you know what? The really, really good domain names are taken, so you gotta be inventive, and you can't always settle for the best thing. So you gotta just do your best, to have it be relatively short and easy to remember. Does not contain numbers or hyphens. This is a big one. Sometimes you see domains written like dog-training-online.com because obviously dog training online was taken, but with the hyphens it's not. The search engines do not like hyphens. Hyphens are weird. They're hard to remember, or people won't, put them in, and then they're going to go to the wrong site. I would encourage you to stay away from hyphens and numbers. Now, if there's a number in your business name, certainly it's okay. But generally speaking, I would not suggest adding numbers, like you wouldn't want your site to be dog training 33 if there's no reason for it to be 33, because that's not going to fare well for you. Preferably a .com. This is really important. .com stands for commercial, and when you go to register your domain name, you're going to find that .infos are actually a lot cheaper. However, .infos are penalized a bit in the search engines. When somebody sees your site, or the search engine sees your site, they're not going to recognize you as being serious because you don't have a .com. It's unfortunate, but that is the way that it is. .nets are okay. They're not as good as .coms, but they're okay. But how many times do you see a commercial on TV for something and it's not a .com? Keep that in mind. You want to make sure it's free from trademark infringement. I wouldn't suggest having a website that was something like Facebook Secrets, because Facebook does not like their name in other people's domain names because they own the name. So keep that in mind too. Is it a good representation of your website? Sometimes, I sit down and I try to find a domain name, and when the ones that I'm looking for are taken, I start to, kind of go off to the left, and I might end up with something that sounds good, but it's not a good representation of what I'm trying to sell. So that's actually bad. So, just keep all those things in mind, and brainstorm, come up with a couple, and then kind of narrow it down. Sometimes you might want to ask your friends or your wife or your spouse or whatever. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And just think about it, because it is a name for your business. It is not something that's easy to change. You set up a site with a domain and you start to promote it. You do not want to change it down the road because you're going to lose some things. So keep that in mind and take some time. I won't fret over it too much, but come up with something that's going to be good for you. In the next video series, we'll talk about what to do once you have your domain name figured out. Registering your domain name. Okay, now I want to take you through the process of registering your domain name. I am here at the popular registrar GoDaddy.com, and you saw earlier how I typed in some ideas for domain names. Let's say that I decide that I want to purchase my dog training help. Okay, I'm not saying it's the greatest domain name, just using it as an example. I'm going to go ahead and check it. I'm going to here add and proceed to checkout. Now here is the most important thing you should know about buying a domain name. They're going to try to upsell you about a bazillion extra services. Now you don't have to take them. When I said that a domain name is $9, $10, $11, I meant it. However, they are going to try everything they can to get you to buy more. You do not need it. So I want you to follow along with me as I go about things. First, I'm going to go ahead. I already have a GoDaddy account, so I'm going to go ahead and sign into it. But if you don't have one, you can just go ahead and fill in your information here. In fact, I'm just going to make up information. I'm going to pause and do that. Okay, and if you're at a different registrar, of course the screen's going to look a little different, but the gist is going to be the same. We can see here that from the get-go, they want me to register the domain for 2 years. I'm going to suggest, especially just starting out, you don't need 2 years. 1 year is fine. So go ahead and change it to 1 year. Sometimes I've even seen them have it be at 5 years by default. So make sure that you check this stuff. It stinks that they're going to be a little deceptive like this, but that's how they are. Mike Jones, that's the name that I made up, for this video. So, okay, domains in this order. You can hit this just to see. There it is, my dog training help. Contact information, which is what I filled out in the last step. Okay, do you want your domain to be certified? I would not worry about that, uncertified. Add hosting to your domain. Okay, in a later video series, we're going to talk about hosting. If you want, you can have your hosting through GoDaddy too. It is going to make things easier to have the hosting and the domain under the same roof. However, you're not necessarily going to get the best pricing. So keep that in mind. The videos are going to take you step through step on how to work with, domain registered at GoDaddy and then hosting through somebody else. So I won't worry too much about that. I'm not going to check on any of that. They ask if you want private registration, meaning that by general, whenever you register a domain name, anybody can go and see who the domain name is registered to, kind of like a car or a house. If you want to, you can have your domain registration be private, meaning nobody can see it. You can do that if you want. Of course, it costs money. Surprise, surprise. But I don't think it's necessary, unless you have something to hide. And if you're creating a business for yourself online, it's not always the best idea to hide something. So there's additional things here. Again, you don't need any of it. This extra stuff here. I just go ahead and I say, no thanks, I'm ready to check out. Please stop trying to sell me stuff, because if you don't, they're going to try to sell you even more stuff. Okay, now, review the shopping cart. Here we are. Actually, somehow I got 2 in there. Oh, sorry, just 1. They're trying to trick me again, because you're saying, hey, you know what? You're getting the .com. Why don't you get the .org and the .net too? So if you have a business, absolutely, I would go ahead and I would register the .org and the .net and even the .info, because you don't want your competitor registering the .net. But if you're just starting out and you're creating a site, to promote a dog training offer, I would not worry about it. Even if they're going to give you a discount, it's not really a deal, trust me. Okay, so there it is. This is just going to cost me a little under $11. And then I can pay with my credit card. I can also pay with PayPal, which is pretty cool. That's how I do it. And then you can also, you just need to agree to the terms of service. And then you hit continue with checkout, and then you pay for it, and that's it. It's yours. Now, by default, after you purchase it, your domain is going to be, it's called parked at GoDaddy, because you see your domain is the way people find you. When people come to your domain name, your domain needs to send them then to your website, so the two need to be hooked together. So after we get our hosting set up, we're going to come back and I'm going to show you how to get your domain name hooked to your hosting. So as of right now, we're just purchasing it, and in the meantime, your domain is going to be parked at wherever you registered it. So if somebody goes to your domain name, it's just going to say this domain is parked at GoDaddy, blah, blah, blah. So that is how you go about and you purchase it. You want to, of course, keep your login information so you can access your account later, which you will need to do once you get your hosting set up. So that's it. That's how you go ahead and get a domain name, and I'll see you in the next video. Tool number 3. Setting up a hosting account. Okay, so hopefully you now have a domain name and you are looking to create a website. You need somewhere to put the website. So think of it kind of like you have a house, but you need somewhere to build it. When you build your house, you need somewhere for it to sit on. You need some land. Well, your hosting account is your land, because even though you may already have your website that you created on your computer, you need to upload it to a hosting account for it to be live on the internet. So that's what a hosting account is, and that's, of course, is why you need one. Now, don't worry, hosting is relatively cheap. It can cost you just a couple dollars a month. So we're going to take you through, of course, how to find a hosting account that's going to work for you, and then I'm going to show you the most common things that you need to know with your hosting account. Mainly, how to set up your domain name so it's linked to your hosting account, and then also how to kind of find your way around the back end of things. So we'll go ahead and get started with the next series of videos. Why you need a website for affiliate marketing. Now, I got to tell you, this is a part where I do see people start to get intimidated, because they say, website, that sounds complicated. And I wanted to tell you, why it is important that you get over this bit of concern, realize that it's not that hard, and also why you really do need one. There are a lot of advantages to having a website, including it is something that you legally own. It is possible to go out and sign up for a Facebook account and do everything through that, meaning that you don't have to have a website. You can just get an affiliate link and start promoting your product that way. But the problem is you don't actually own it. Facebook could boot you to the curb, or Facebook dries up and it's not that popular anymore. I don't think it's going to happen, but you never know. But it's not something that you actually legally own. So a website, is. So it's kind of like, having a store, which is a, good thing to have, because it's actually something that is yours. It's an asset. It gives you more control over your marketing efforts. Of course, if you're just promoting things through an affiliate link, you don't have an opportunity to pre-sell your customer. Pre-selling is very important. For example, let's say that I am looking, let's going back to this example here. I am thinking about purchasing doubling stocks, which is a program to help you make money from the stock market. So I type in doubling stocks review, and what happens is these reviews come up, and this person has a website, and they wrote a review for doubling stocks. And actually, it skipped me past the review. Let's look at something else here. This person here wrote a review for doubling stocks. So I'm thinking about buying it, but I come to this site, and then certainly, I read this information, and it compels me to purchase it. So what happens is I came to the website already thinking about purchasing it, but the website turned the tide. It convinced me that I do need to purchase it, and then of course I go and purchase it. So having a website, gives you that ability to pre-sell someone. It gives you the ability basically to do whatever you want. It allows you to gain a footing in the search engines. If you are just promoting your affiliate link, then of course you're going to get sales, but you're not going to get any search engine results. If you have a website, you can promote your website, and then of course you'll get sales through your website. But what will happen is, it's more work in the beginning because you have to, go out and tell everybody about your website. But ideally, over time, you'll start to rank for terms in the search engines, and then you're going to get traffic that way. And then before you know it, you're making money without doing much effort, which is really, really nice. It allows you to pre-sell affiliate products, which I already mentioned. It also gives you an asset to your business, which I also already mentioned, but I think you get the gist here. Having a website is really, really important, and I strongly encourage you to go ahead and do that. It really is not that hard, as you will see in the next series of videos.